to stay for longer, we will update as required. We urge you all not to listen or to
They're
spread
confirming
rumors.
it?
Keep acting responsibly
The Israeli military, they have a
resilience
radio
and
station,
continue
and
to
they're
adhere to
reporting
the
on their
instructions
radio
that IDF
station.
is.
They're confirming that multiple on their radio station. They're confirming that multiple drones have been sent from multiple locations inside of Iran, not just one. Apparently,
Multiple locations in Iran.
which would make sense instead of
Right.
sending everything from one spot.
Well, it's breaking. Well, Biden is on the way back to meet with his national security team, probably in the Situation Room. It takes a few hours. Hopefully, they have time to shoot these things down while they're coming in. But, dude, it looks like it's happening right now. So, too bad my description. I tell you, this is unbelievable. I gotta fix this description. I misspelled because I was trying to rush to come on. See, yeah, because it is breaking. I'm gonna see if I could fix the description because it's improper. But there is breaking news, people. Iranian drones. It's not time to relax. Possible attack underway against Israel. Now, it's going to take time, like we talked about, for the drones to get from Iran to Israel. They're saying, like, one person that was on the news said a few hours. He's still speaking live. This is a live thing from Israel. He's talking right now.
Development. All right. Further clarity, if you will. Rear Admiral Daniel Agali, the IDF spokesperson, confirming that the Iranian attack is indeed underway. Guys, Real still with us.
Live.
So now
This is a live thing from Israel.
Rear Admiral Agari is not saying, in his own words, Iranian UAVs. He's dubbing it the familiar threat, or the threat that is en route to Israeli territory, and perhaps clarifying, and this circles back to
Can you hear that?
I've asked you before. Agari began his statement regarding the Israeli attempts to prevent them. Essentially, the first line of defense, if you will be to prevent those UAVs from even entering Israeli airspace.
They gotta have the Air Force in the air to intercept.
Before they do.
They probably got dozens of planes up.
That anyone who attempted to use his navigation system or his Google Maps on their phone several days ago found themselves to be actually located at Beirut Airport. That is part of the effort of Israel to thwart the threat of these drones, which are GPS based, to try and prevent them from reaching their target. So Israel is using all sorts of means to disrupt their navigation into Israeli territory, disrupting the GPS reception all across.
Now, I'm curious what they're saying here.
Many means that Israel holds.
Why would...
It's saying that the
Hold on.
IDF is prepared with all its systems, both in defense and in attack.
Do you think that Iran would only launch drones involved here? Or do you think there's more to possibly come from other areas? Do you think they would just simply launch a bunch of drones toward Israel? Or do you think it could be a multi-pronged thing where, and of course I'm speculating.
Well, I mean, it could be both. It really depends.
Because to me, that's like so one-sided with the predictability, and now you know what you're dealing with. I'm wondering if the proxies are going to get involved, Hezbollah or the Houthis. Like, if other stuff is going to happen too, or is it just these drones that have been launched toward Israel? And it's going to take a few hours for it to get there. So like you said, why can't they just find a way? They've got all of Syria, parts of Jordan, before it gets to Israel to shoot them down. But we don't know. We don't know what the heck is going on. That's what they're saying. That dozens of drones, UAVs, whatever it is. But
Right.
I would think... Now, I don't know if they would want to get Hezbollah involved, where now that becomes a target for Israel to go after. Maybe Iran just says, we're just going to do this and see what happens. But I wouldn't be surprised if they launch some missiles as well. It's all about the timing. Would there be missiles in the air at the same time coordinated? Because the missiles travel faster. So would they launch missiles so that the missiles enter Israeli airspace and the drones at the same time? See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's all over the Israeli TV. It's breaking. I'm watching it on my TV. But this is crazy, Popeye.
I know. Well, I mean, you're watching literally history in the making right now.
For real. And okay, I've got a web...
And not in a good way either.
No, hell no. This is horrible. I've got an Al Jazeera in English up on my screen sharing so people could see, and I can't put the audio because that's a copyright issue. But
Of course.
it's saying here, Israel says Iran has begun attacks. Tel Aviv says several drones launched from Tehran. They're en route to Israel. Now, they say several, but several doesn't give us a number. On the Israeli TV channel, it said dozens. And like I mentioned, we were talking about this. President Biden is on his way back to D.C. to meet with his national security team, probably in the Situation Room. So there's all kinds of stuff going on right now. It's breaking right now, literally. So, dude, who knows? You know it's going to be highlighted all over. All the MSM channels are going to be covering this. You know there's going to be live video coming in when the Iron Dome is possibly trying to take out these UAVs coming in or any impacts. I mean, this is going to be a bad issue. This is bad, Popeye. Within the next few hours, those drones should be reaching Israel. If they get through. If they get through.
They shouldn't allow them to get through.
Exactly.
Come on.
For real. They have the technology to knock these suckers out of the air right now. So, Genghis, everybody who's watching, they have detected the launch of several drones, which I'm looking at the Israeli TV live in front of me, and they're saying dozens, but this is saying that they have launched, Iran has launched numerous drones toward Israel. It takes a few hours for the flight of the drones to get there, but this is actually an attack is underway. So this is going on right now, and we have to see how this all develops. And you can see this is Al Jazeera English, because I can't play the audio because it's a copyright issue, but we can at least see what's going on. And of course, Al Jazeera is going to report this. On the other hand, I have this.
While UAVs are making their way from Iranian soil to Israeli territory, and yet, how can Israel, how can the U.S., quote unquote, utilize the current state of affairs and its benefit?
Well, I think I agree with Meir that we are on uncharted territory. It's unprecedented.
So this, like Papa and I were discussing, this is historical in nature and not in a good way.
No.
Because has Iran ever launched a direct attack against Israel, or it always uses proxies? Do you know? I don't remember ever.
This is proxies.
Right?
It always threatens to launch direct attacks, but this is definitely a step up.
Yeah, this is the first time that they're directly getting involved in an attack from Iranian soil and not using their proxies to do it. They're doing it themselves. So Yeah, this is not good, and I'm sure it's going to be all over all the mainstream media channels soon if it hasn't started already. It's Saturday, so usually they're not on top of their game for news on the weekends,
No.
but they're gonna be in
That's
a
why things like this happen on the weekends.
yes, yes, yep. And I have a feeling they're all scrambling right now to send their anchors or whoever they want to be on their programs right now to the headquarters studios to cover this shit all night because this is just starting. It's gonna be a few hours before if these drones make it and they're not shut down. But this is just not good. This is not good. So Israel says Iran has begun attacks. They're saying it on my TV over there from live from Israel.
Andrews with a couple of his advisors. So this is happening. Mayor Javedanfar, Dr. Mayor Javedanfar, if you're still with us, we do hear initial statements from the from Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, reports of a first quote of the supreme leader. What is essentially the end game of Iran with this attack?
To restore its deterrence. The Islamic Republic feels that its deterrence has excuse me, been severely undermined through the attacks in Syria, which were said that.
So I don't know what the Ayatollah said, but supposedly he made a statement.
Is the regime's deterrence abroad?
Yeah, they
But
should
you know what?
talk about what it
What
said
is
instead of fucking
interesting
throwing
is
gas.
that according to
What?
the fact,
Saying like, well, you know.
So, folks, if you're watching, oh shit. So Jordan, they're closing all the airspace between
Yeah.
Iran and Israel. Jordan, well, Syria, that's open, fucking for anything. It looks like they're trying to jam the GPS that controls the navigation for the drones. So, dude, this is
Yeah,
crazy.
that makes sense that way. That's why they got to close Jordanian airspace so they don't drop any planes. That
Well-
like civilian aircraft.
Charles, the president was on. He was on spending the weekend in Delaware. He's on his way. He'll be landing in a few minutes back at the White House to go into the Situation Room to meet with his National Security Council. So probably what happened is this was detected. Intelligence detected the launch of these drones, and they're heading toward Israel. That's why Biden got called back. That's why Israel's saying on their local networks that there's an attack underway, that the drones are heading toward Israel. Who knows? It's all new breaking news going on right now. So it looks like the attack is imminent, meaning they already launched drones. And who else knows what's going to happen here? It may not be limited or could be limited to just drones. We don't know. So will take hours to arrive because it's the distance. So in those hours, you would think they have ample time to shoot them down, to take them down. That's what Popeye and I were discussing earlier. I mean, you would think they have the opportunity to take these drones out. And it would be a little on the suspicious side, without getting too conspiratorial, to allow these drones to get through and do damage to Israel, which would definitely be a provocation then to then do a counter-strike against Iran. And that could mean nuclear facilities, infrastructure, oil, whatever. So who knows? We just have to pay attention to what's going on. Now, I don't know if, like Popeye and I were talking about, I don't think the mainstream media is covering this yet. Yeah, there is ships in the Hormuz, but what happened today is Iran took over a cargo vessel in the Strait that was connected to an Israeli billionaire. by helicopter. They came down, boarded it, changed the course, and it's heading toward Iran. And it's under, I think, a Portugal flag, but the owner is an Israeli billionaire of that. So there's stuff going on already. So who knows what's going to happen? Popeye, do what you got to do. Worst comes to worst, if you don't do a pre-record, I'll just run a replay. This way we can all watch and keep an eye on what the hell's going on over here.
All right, I'll call you back in a little bit.
Call me. If you get more information, hit me up on Skype because I'm live.
Yeah, I'll hit you up.
All right, go. Do your thing.
All right, bye.
Bye. So everybody's digging for information. And I'll just play the audio, what's coming from Israel on their TV. I mean, their newscast.
Since 1979, who've paid a very heavy price for the Islamic Republic's very aggressive foreign policy. Countries of the
This is a station
Saudi Arabia,
on my TV. It's called I-24. It's live news coming in from Israel.
2019, the Saudis were very disappointed with the fact that they did not receive what they believe.
And then you have Al Jazeera. This is in English. Because you know they're going to show whatever they can related to this. And I'm sure the Arabic version is probably even more, but at least you could see what's going on here with the English translation. But you could see they're focused on Israel right now.
That it was stronger than it was before.
And the news has been coming
one of the consequences, one of the
like
intended consequences
refreshed.
Of what is about to happen tonight. And
It takes a few hours for the drones to reach Israel from Iran.
For Iran to deploy its proxies against Israel. Because
So who the heck knows is
one of the biggest goals was to use these proxies to attack Israel, but not to receive direct attacks from Israel. But if these proxies act in a way that brings war to Iranian mainland, then the whole
See, I don't agree with what they're saying.
Will be put under question.
I don't think Hezbollah or some of the other proxies, maybe they'll launch a few missiles. I don't think they're going to go full out, because then that would become the target of Israel. Iran is probably saying, we're going to do this. Let them see if they come after us. I don't know if the proxies are going to get involved with this in a big scale. Yeah, they can still launch a few missiles. We have to see. Now, the time that it's taken these drones, as I was talking to Popeye, the speed of a cruise missile, could they then coordinate the timing from when the drones reach Israel and somewhere in between launch cruise missiles so that both the drones and the cruise missiles enter Israeli airspace at the same time, which would make it much more difficult to take them out. I'm speculating completely, but we don't know what the scale is here. I mean, it's pretty predictable if United States intelligence, Israeli intelligence, someone's intelligence obviously picked up the launch of these drones, and they know they're heading toward Israel. So you would think they have time, if it's hours that it takes to get to Israel, that they have time to knock these things out. So there's a lot of questions here. The crew on board were mainly Philippine. Well, it doesn't matter who's on board, like the crew themselves. It's who's the ownership of the vessel. Who is it meant to target? And I read earlier, an Israeli. Okay, now that's strange how that just switched over. Something happened in an Australian mall? This must be breaking now too. A mall attack in Sydney. They probably went right to this because this is live.
Iran's proxy strategy and way of doing warfare. And I think it speaks, as I was saying earlier, to a greater degree of risk tolerance.
I think the drones are going to get shot down too.
That it feels it could get away with or absorb any kind of retaliation by launching an operation from its own soil.
So you're hearing the
Israel,
audio.
and, that's something that speaks to a very low level of deterrence.
And of course, this is
in the
Al
Middle
Jazeera,
East.
so you
And I
know they're
think
going
the
to put
Islamic Republic is betting
certain
on the United
content on.
States to restrain Israel, and the fact
But
that the Islamic Republic
this is a live.
to pay a meaningful price for any.
This is a live broadcast coming from Israel. And that's when I learned about it. And I'll keep an eye on the news feed coming from this stream. But I was watching the Yankee game after I got game rage and quit. And I ended the Yankee game. And then on my phone, a message came through. Oh shit, a delivery just came. That the president was going back to meet with his national security team back in D.C. because he was in Delaware. They put him on Marine One, the helicopter, and he should be landing there now. So for that to happen, that means something imminent, something serious. They need him there in the Situation Room. At the same time, I said, okay, let me see if anything's going off in Israel. And I put that I-24 news, and they said that an attack may be immediate, imminent. And that's when they said the drones have been detected, that they were launched from Iran heading toward Israel. But she said it could take up to 9 hours. Uh-oh, Popeye's sending me an image. So I am canceling all the live shows tonight. And there was only going to be really one. Popeye was doing a pre-record. So Steve is also talking about it. Agenda Free. He's talking about it right now. Looks like he's gotten on board with it. And now he's saying it. So he's talking about it. Now he's using CNN. That looks like a CNN page. Just the way it looks. The way it looks. Yep, CNN. I knew it. But here you go. So it looks like it is happening. It's starting to come in from multiple news outlets. The first one was Israel, the Israeli station. Now, yeah, that's one. It's coming from Israel. You need confirmation from other. Popeye saying our media has finally caught up on it. Drone attacks. Drudge Report is reporting it. Iran launches drone attacks on Israel. IDF on full alert. And Fox News, Israel on high alert as Islamic regime launches swarms of drones toward Jewish state. So it's already looks like it's breaking on other main, media outlets. So there you go. There. Drudge Report is showing it. So it looks like this is happening. Craziness. But that's Steve covering it. I'm going to keep an eye on that news. So this is a historical day in a really bad way, because it's the first time directly Iran is going to attack Israel. They've always used proxies. Not this time. Not this time. They're launching a direct attack from their soil to Israeli soil. It's unprecedented. Because they've always used the proxies. Well, it doesn't look like they're going to... Now, who knows? Maybe the proxies will still be used. So, they're showing the airspace and how he's going into it. Holy shit, the wind just... Shit is flying. So you know Steve, he'll be streaming for the next 10 hours. Because that's what he does. And he's probably looking at all the Twitter feeds. He's probably looking at everything possible. I'm going to keep an eye on the streams too. Popeye's helping me with some content as well. And they're still focusing on that. So I'm going to wait till the top of the hour, which is right now. Let's see what they're saying from Israel.
Olvidada por el sistema internacional.
It's a commercial.
Pero no por su
It's
pueblo.
the bottom of the hour. But they're definitely going to be talking about, let's see what they're saying the latest from Israel about what's going on. So, crazy. Crazy. The shit is about to hit the fan. Now, again, you would think they have time to take out these drones. I mean, whether it's the United States, Israel, for the time that it takes to get there, you would think they would have time to take out these drones. I don't know how many are in the air. I would think they would take these down before they reach Israel. So this is all breaking, and now it's coming here. Breaking. Iran launches drones toward Israel. And now the IDF spokesman said Iran launched drones from its territory and from the territory of its agents toward the territory, of its agents. Talking about that because several hours to reach Israeli territory. The IDF and Air Force are implementing the well-planned plans that are preparing to deal with. As part of preparation, the GPS services are not probably active. So yeah, it's breaking all over. I'm waiting for... they went to a recorded episode, so they're not going to be live till the top of the hour. The Israeli TV station is now showing a recorded episode. So they cut for half hour. You see something about cruise missiles being launched? I mean, so this is happening right now. And you can bet the mainstream media is probably picking this up by now, because this is about an hour old already. I didn't start streaming right away. I was making phone calls to different people and getting their opinion on it. But in the next few hours, Genghis, where did you see something about cruise missiles? If you can put a link, and let's see if we can confirm that cruise missiles have been launched as well. Because right now it's just talking about drones, not cruise missiles. The airspace has to get closed down. And flight radar is not going to necessarily show you the path of military activity. So they can forget about that. He's probably seeing the airspace in between the air traffic. They've got to clear that air traffic out. So this is crazy. What's going on right now? What's this? It's God forbid it would be nuclear. That's for sure. This is Netanyahu's. You're right about that. A lot of people out there feel the same way and think the same way you just wrote. It's Netanyahu's war, not the Israeli people's. Because, I mean, we can debate, depending on how you look your opinion. What's going on in Gaza is an absolute humanitarian atrocity, with the tens of thousands of people either dead or starving. The place is pretty much leveled. I mean, it's a serious humanitarian crisis. And the thing is, you might think you're going to try to get rid of Hamas, but you're just creating more people to have hatred and anger against Israel. And the void will be filled. It's insane what's going on. I don't know what the latest death toll is in Gaza of civilians, but it is above and beyond insane what those poor people are going through, the civilians in Gaza. And it doesn't mean that you're not a person that, you know, the opinions are out there. Oh, then that means you don't support Israel. This is different. This is what's going on to people, innocent civilians. People should not look the other way when shit like this happens. Oh, war is war. Not like this. Because if it happened to you or people you love or your family, you would think a lot differently. It's easy to speak behind a computer screen in the safety of your home, but imagine putting yourself in place and putting yourself in Gaza right now and what it would be like to be there in person, seeing everything that's going on around you. Charles said over 25,000 so far killed, last he checked. 25,000 civilians. How many Hamas have been killed? What's that number? So for every one Hamas person you take out, you're killing 25 civilians? And that's if you took out 1,000. Uh-oh. What's this? Oh, shit. A drone. There's a drone caught. They captured a drone on film. And that's definitely, or it could be a plane. So it's underway, folks. The attack is underway. It's just a matter of time when it reaches it now. And they're flying low. Notice. Low. Why? Radar. Harder to intercept without causing casualties on the ground. So this is not good what's happening right now. Yeah, I'm on Rumble too. So this, who knows? Jay said, nope, that's a drone. It looked like a drone initially to me too. It's flying low, purposely. And I don't have him on because it's a copyright issue. When you use audio, you can. There is actually a rule. I forgot what it's called exactly. For use of video and stuff, as long as you mute it and you speak over it, the domain issue is not an issue. It's not a problem. If I was to put the audio on right now, it would be an issue. It's a copyright issue. But you can do things, clips, video, as long as it's muted and you're speaking commentary over it. Iran State TV has just read a breaking statement by the Revolutionary Guards Corps in which IRGC confirmed the launch of dozens of drones and missiles against specific targets in Israel. And missiles. So they're saying it's not just drones, it's drones and missiles. Now, again, the major question here is, one, will they actually get to its destination and strike Israel? One. Two, will Hezbollah and other groups also do a simultaneous launch, because they're closer, so that everything impacts Israel at the same time? It's a timing issue. 2 a.m. Israeli time, so that's 7 hours ahead of me. Oh, it's still a couple of hours away. So that would be 6. No, it's less. It's an hour and, what do you say, 2 o'clock? Yeah, that's still quite a bit away. Serious stuff is going on.
I'm not doing
No, I'm just saying Iran is launching an attack against Israel. So 7 o'clock my time is 2 a.m. So in about 2 hours. That's what they're saying. Iraq has closed down its airspace.
All the people dying.
Allegedly, if it's true, it is true.
Please God.
Well, I heard Iraq and Jordan closed their airspace.
Please God.
Jordan as well. So, yeah, it looks like this is probably, we can't say for sure. Because nothing can be said for sure. It looks likely possible. How's that? Because I'm not going to make claims that we have no real 100% authenticity of what's going on right now. This is all just coming out. And you know how news changes, facts change, information change. So this is all just coming out. We don't know exactly what's going on to be responsible. But yes, it's going to be a long night. Now, to be honest, it does make sense because most attacks do happen under the guise of nighttime. And if it's at 2 a.m. Israeli time in the morning, that's usually the time. Even when the United States does strikes, it's usually nighttime, not daytime, for all kinds of strategic reasons. So, Jade said those are the same drones they sell to Russia. And there you go. An Iranian Shahed 136. Let's look that up. Iranian Shahed 136. Let's see what I find here. All right, I got to close the door, people, because this is important, and I'm hearing a conversation. It's a kamikaze drone. It definitely looks like that. Let me close the door, everybody. I'm going to share on the screen. I'll be right back because I have to shut the door. So that is the drone that they claim that we just seen, that they say that's speculating that this is the type of drone that's being used. Attacking ground targets from a distance. It acts as a projectile along with the warhead it carries. Obviously, it's destroyed. It's being used by the Russians, like Jade said. So these are the drones that have allegedly been launched against Israel. And there you go. That kind of looks like that image, doesn't it? A long-range suicide drone for hitting fixed targets. So they're probably going after military installations. There you go. 11 feet long, 440 pounds. Wow, they cost $20,000 a piece. Inexpensive, but deadly. So there you go. That is allegedly the drone that is being used right now. And again, I have to be careful the word allegedly, because we really don't know yet. Okay, on Israel public surveys, it says it's not only Iran who's attacking. I wouldn't be surprised the proxies are involved. You think they targeted cities or military points? Probably military. Because remember, who did they go after? Let's forget about the scientists that were taken out in the past in Iran. But what happened at a diplomatic consulate when they killed the 2 generals and others. A diplomatic. That's usually, you don't touch that. You don't attack that. That's a story in itself. Now, Jade's saying that they're easy to shoot down. So I think because they killed military personnel in Damascus, that they're probably going to go after military sites. Who knows? But who knows what the Hezbollah does, the Houthis do? Who knows? The only thing I would say about that, Jade, is they're flying low, and it's going to be hard for them to take them out at that low altitude. Yes, it can be done. I'm just saying, you could see how low it was. So that's a whole issue in itself. They say commercial aircraft is going crazy over there. Jam signals. They have to be. They're trying to jam the drones. There's no doubt about that. I'm trying to Minecraft miner. Translate this. I don't know what you want translated, but if you put something in there. Jordan has already closed its airspace. Iraq right now has a heavy influence in their government from Iran. You think they're gonna do anything about Iranian drones? You honestly think Iraq is going to take them down? The Air Force of Iraq is going to take down Iranian drones? I don't think so. Forget about that. Now, again, Erkan, you're right. That's going beyond to that attack in Damascus. I don't care who's inside. To take out a diplomatic consulate, regardless of who is inside. There are other means to take out people where you wait and bide your time, but you just don't do it because it's easy for you to attack a heavily populated civilian area in Damascus to take out these generals and all the other individuals. The missile attack will begin soon. See, this is going to be multifaceted. The only problem here is, Israel is going to retaliate. That would be like saying if the United States, a warship, got heavily damaged, death, injuries, or sunk, you think we're not going to retaliate in a substantial way? Now, what do you think Israel's going to do here? Do nothing? This is an escalation. And who knows? This is bad. This is bad for so many reasons. This is not the way to pave the way to peace. This is paving the way to war and a wider conflict. And people could be, and here in the United States, for those that are not in the United States, everything here is so politicized. This, election year, it wouldn't happen under Trump, or you get all that shit coming out over here in this country. The bottom line is, this has been building for decades. Decades. Historically. It's been going on for a long time. And they've been playing this shadow war with each other, with the proxies and everything else. So it's, we always think about what's our involvement in it? No, what's going on in the Middle East? And what's going on in the West Bank and Jerusalem and Gaza and the Golan Heights and the feelings that a lot of the Arabian countries have in resentment and true hatred of the state of Israel since it was created in the 40s. So this is above and beyond people's mentality here in the United States about what's actually going on over there. We have our own politicization of it here for our own reasons. But it's beyond that. It's what's going on over there and has been going on before Biden or Trump or Obama or Bush. It's been going on for a long time. So, they have to think of it in those terms too. The Iron Dome, well, the Iron Dome is imperfect. Because when Hamas was sending in the missiles, few missiles got through. I'm getting all kinds of alerts on my phone because of this. So the scary thing here is escalation. And believe it or not, people in the United States will say, oh, this is done on purpose because it's an election year and it helps this person or hurts that person. But, that's thinking in a very narrow vision way. Now, what Jay just said is a concern. Now, I would think, Jay, that could be possible if the United States gets directly and significantly involved in this. Because Iran told through channels, United States, stay out of this. This is between us and Israel. Now, we know that's always the possibility that who knows if that affects what goes on here in the homeland or in Europe and in other locations throughout the world. Who knows? But, my God, I'm just going to have to shut my phone down because it's getting crazy. And I do want to hear what the Israeli TV station has to say in 5 minutes. 8 minutes when they go live again at the top of the hour. The Israeli TV station. The Gaza death toll is 33,500. I want you to do me a favor, Charles. So the civilian death toll is 33,500. See if they have a number for the amount of Hamas that were killed compared to the civilian number. See if you can find that, Charles. See if you could dig that up. What do they say? How many Hamas militants had they taken out? There's a package outside, right?
Yeah.
All right.
It's inside now.
It's the other map. News sources report that Lebanon says has targeted Israel's Iron Dome systems. Oh, shit.
I gotta do something, forgot.
Somebody was just saying in chat, look how coordinated that is. They're taking out their defensive strategic locations so that they can't intercept the missiles and the drones. So Hezbollah is taking out the Iron Dome systems with drones. So Hezbollah is in coordination with Iran on this. I just hope that I'm not interrupted because this is crazy breaking stuff that's going on. We don't know if this information is accurate, by the way, like it's saying. We don't know. We don't know if this is accurate. We have to be careful about the stuff that he's putting up on that screen. Because we don't know. That's just posts. You know what people post shit all the time that's false information and misinformation. So I take all that with a grain of salt, what I see on that screen. Because people do it on a daily basis. Unfortunately. But that's just the way it is. So we have to be careful about the information that you're seeing on this screen. Because we just don't know. These are, alleged claims, reports. We don't know. I don't think there'll be a ground attack. I don't think so. I think they just want to put a pound of hurt on Israel and make them feel it. Now, I don't think they'll go after civilian, like the cities, that would be crossing a major threshold. I think they're probably targeting. But here's another thing that I saw on a news feed. What if they go after a power plant? Can somebody look up, does Israel have how many? If so, I don't know. So I'm asking, nuclear power plants? Does Israel have nuclear power plants? Does anybody have the answer to that? Because I don't know offhand. I honestly don't. So maybe somebody, could you imagine if they target a nuclear plant? Jordan's air defense ready to shoot down any Iranian aircraft that violates its airspace. Well, that's an interesting one. So Jordan is saying, we will try to intercept anything that goes into our airspace from Iran. Remember, Shia, Sunni. That has a lot to do with it too. Tribal. Shia, Sunni. As Jay definitely knows. So you may have, alliances just based on that. Forget about the Israeli part of this. It's also Sunni Shia, because they don't want Iranian craft going over their territory. Erkan, that's the major concern, because let's just say, I'm being hypothetical. Let's just say that this goes crazy and it goes into a full-scale war, and the United States is putting a lot of their assets to help Israel. Does that open the door for China to move to Taiwan? And what about the Russian-Ukraine stuff? Who knows? It can affect other things going on geopolitically. So when you say World War III, you can never take that out of the equation, because you have to see how wide the conflict could get. I'm not saying it will, because I'm not one of those type of people. But you just don't know. Is it possible? Sure. Anything's possible. Okay, let's see what Israel... I'm going to put the audio on live from the Israeli feed when they come back from commercial on my TV. So they're going to be coming back from break. Let's see what they're saying, the latest from Israel. It's English. Let's see what they say at the top of their hour news break, because it's live from Israel. And again, it's Israeli media. That would be saying like Israeli media, Al Jazeera media. Two different perspectives, 2 points of view, 2 ways to cover something. That goes without saying. We know that. It's not about taking sides. I'm being neutral here as much as I possibly humanly can. Even though like this host is known to be a liberal. In the United States, that means a lot to people that are conservative watching a guy like this. Because whatever he says, they take it. I'm just using that as an analogy and as an example. So it's hard to be objective in a news cycle, especially here in the United States. If you're not here in the United States, you just don't understand how bad it is here, because it's bad. It's all agenda-driven, biased, partisan, hate the other side. That's the way it is here. I'm surprised we're not in a worse situation than we already are in now, because of this nonsense that goes on in our country. But we're not talking about what the state of the United States is right now. We're talking about what's going on in Israel at the moment and in the Middle East. So, Britain has no effect on USA policy over Israel. It's hard to say that any country really has. You got to remember, Britain has relationships with Iran. So do a lot of European countries. I'm doing a live stream on this. There's missiles. There's all kinds of shit going on.
I just got a text that says Israel says Iran has launched cruise missiles.
Yes.
Is that Have you heard that?
Yeah, not only that, but Hezbollah is attacking the Iron Dome sites to take them out with suicide drones. These are alleged reports. I cannot confirm that, but yeah, that's what they're saying. I put I-24 on now. They're at the top of the. Oh, it's recorded again. Oh shit! I wonder why. I wonder if they went on a news blackout.
I'm watching CNN right now. CNN.
What?
Recording it.
You're watching fucking CNN?
Yeah, because my friend texted me, said he was watching. I don't like CNN, you know that.
That's what I'm saying. But why CNN?
But hey, here's the deal though. Biden's not going to the White House. He's going to Air Force Andrews Base.
Really?
Just past midnight in Israel.
Oh shit!
Reporters and analysts all over the map as we track this news, including MJ Lee.
Hold on. Iran says it launches retaliatory strikes in occupied territories. Israel.
Straight to our Ben Wiedemann, who is in Lebanon. Ben, if you could please bring us up to speed with.
I'm watching it too. Go. Call me if anything. I put CNN to hear it. Bye.
Attack Israel.
Well, as we heard just an hour ago, that Iran had launched drones in the direction of Israel. Now, we heard also that the United States is going to try to intercept anything that flies in the direction of Israel. Israeli military spokesmen are saying it could take hours for those drones to reach Israeli territory. And as you said, cruise missiles as well, according to Israeli media, have been launched in the direction of Israel. Now, as a result, Israeli airspace has been closed, Jordanian airspace has been closed, Iraqi airspace has been closed. In Israel, of course, we knew even before this news came out about the Iranian launch of drones and cruise missiles that tomorrow all schools and universities in Israel have been canceled. We understand that in Haifa, bomb shelters have now been opened. So essentially, the region is waiting to see when those projectiles reach Israel. Will they actually hit anything? As we know, Israel has the ability, along with the United States, to track them as they fly in the direction of Israel. And we've seen that whether it's the Arrow anti-missile system, the Iron Drone, and other means, whether Israel will be able to actually shoot all of them down before they actually hit the ground. Alex?
Clarissa, to you, we're showing live pictures of that Tel Aviv skyline. One of the major questions is, of course, what the targets are intended to be. Now,
somebody asked about the targets.
There is a sense that if Iran does not want to escalate this, that they won't go, for example, for civilian centers. They won't try to target downtown Tel Aviv, where you are. Obviously, we don't know what those targets are going to be, but what is the Israeli government saying to its...
I was surprised when Chris told me put on CNN. I was like, what? CNN? Because I don't really watch TV. So I was watching the Israeli station. So they, like somebody, I think somebody put it in here that there was word of, I don't know who it was, that cruise missiles may be involved. That's what they're saying on TV too now. 100 drones launched from Iran, more than. But now how many cruise missiles are in the air? And what is Hezbollah going to do? Are the Houthis going to launch anything from Yemen? Is anything going to come in from Syria? Because Syria, they were directly attacked in Damascus. Could Syria play a role in this, like Jade said? Like a ground attack? Now, I don't see a ground attack. But doesn't mean they can't launch stuff too, coming in from all directions. I mean, of course the targets are speculative. Nobody knows. Nobody knows, except the people that launched them, who they're targeting. What do you think about Israel right now? Well, if you wanted to know my honest opinion, when you build settlements and you treat the Palestinian people by throwing them off land and claiming to be your own and no longer theirs, and it's been going on for fucking decades, and really the mistreatment. And don't get me wrong, terrorism, extremism is fucking out of the question. But there's always two sides, and so there's a lot of gray. There's a lot of gray area. Those people are like in a border area, like in prison. They're treated so inhumanely, but you can't really. They were the ones that allowed Hamas and the Palestinian Authority and all these people to dictate what goes on in their territory. So, but it's like, no, you can't leave, or we'll kill you. They live under threat. It's very complicated. I look at it this way. Could Gaza be a flourishing, beautiful, economic situation? Sure it can. It's got a lot of beaches right there in the Mediterranean. They can have their ports and bring in goods, but people will say, well, of course they're going to bring in goods. They're going to bring in military equipment and stuff to attack Israel. And of course, people will say, and again, this you could go in every angle. Their objective is the destruction of Israel. I mean, to destroy Israel. Because they don't recognize it. So it's very complicated. It's very complicated. All I know is, though, that this right now is very serious. Because this is an escalation. And where it goes from here is the question. This is scary territory right now. And it can widen the conflict big time. So, what's going on now? That is at the absolute top of the Iranian, that cruise missiles range with a 2-hour flight time. That's right. Gaza has untapped oil and gas fields in the Mediterranean too. That's right. So, it's not a cut, clear, easy answer here. If it was, this wouldn't be going on for as long as Israel was created in the late 40s. So it's very complicated. That's right. I said that earlier. It's the first time that they didn't use proxies, that it was a direct attack from Iranian soil against Israel. First time. That's why I said we're in an unprecedented area, and not in a good way. Not in a good way. But remember, Israel has never really taken full responsibility, but they have directly attacked Iranian soil, or have used other means by the Mossad, take out scientists, or hacking to slow down nuclear facilities. So this has been going back and forth for a long time. That's why when I hear some people say, oh, this is something new, no, it's not. It's just gotten to the point where Israel, by attacking that diplomatic consulate and killing the 2 generals and other military personnel, that was a definite push the stakes, the chips ahead. Now we're going to raise the stakes here. And they knew what they were doing. So who really is responsible for inflaming this situation? And you don't think that Iran eventually is going to react at some point? And they're saying, that's it. But then at the same time, you could look at it the other way, and what the proxies have been doing for decades and decades, stirring stuff up. So again, there is no easy answer here if you're being objective and looking at it from 2 sides, not one side. 12,300 of those 35,500 dead in Gaza were children. Well, I think the population in Gaza, almost half is children of the 2.3 million. Almost half are children in Gaza. So who's really suffering? It's just not good. No matter how you look at this, it's not good for anyone. For any side, it's not good. For any side. It's just not good. And what do you do to bring this back now? How do you slow this shit down now? This snowball that looks like it's just going to roll down and get bigger and bigger now. I think a lot, even if Israel knocks everything out of the sky and there's no significant damage or loss of life or infrastructure, do you think they're going to not retaliate? That they know that they were launched a direct attack by Iran? Refused to confirm deny reports of shooting down drones in Syrian airspace or reports of Iranian cruise missile attacks due to operational considerations, but say cruise missiles would take 3 to 4 hours to arrive. Now, interestingly enough, the Israeli TV station is still doing rebroadcasts. They may be taking shelter. They may do blackouts, news blackouts, because they don't want nobody to see what's going on in real time in Israel, because other people are watching too, those feeds. But it is important to get the information out to their public of what they need to do. But there's certain things that are going on right now that are little sidebar things to keep an eye on. Iran has launched not dozens, but hundreds of drones at Israel. Now, again, he's reading shit from posts on Facebook, X, whatever. That's an X. You don't know if that's true. Especially when they say sources. Sources. Who are these sources? I hate when they do that. Sources say. Who are they? Are they credible sources? Or is it just my buddy on the phone, that's my source, told me that, no, it wasn't dozens, hundreds of drones. What's your source? Who told you? That's why you got to take everything that you see with a grain of salt, because it could be absolute bullshit. Yeah. What is it, Mom?
I can't. I gotta give Taco some turkey, something.
Make him the gizzards.
He's not eating that. It's
Well,
not
make
good.
fresh gizzards.
You make that because, like I told you, when I make it, he doesn't eat it. Maybe he'll eat it.
All right. So
Here, Taco.
what's going on?
Biden's going to address the nation tonight.
Really?
That's not a good sign.
That is not a good sign.
Yeah, and he went to Andrews, which means that he's right close to Air Force One, which means is that anytime there's an emergency like this,
He goes in the air. Yeah.
the president goes into the air.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, shit is right. They're saying estimate of more than 100 drones have been launched and cruise missiles.
I know. It's coming up on a YouTube stream right now, but
Yeah, so what they're doing is they're going after the Israeli military targets first,
yep.
the Iron Dome, and take that out.
Yep.
And then once they get the Iron Dome out, then they're going to obliterate them.
Oh God.
Yeah. So, shit's starting to get real right now.
I know. I canceled the shows for tonight, the video shows, because I want to keep an eye on what's going on here in real time with the news.
Yeah, this is the last time a president addressed the nation in something like this was the Cuban Missile Crisis. And I should say, the Cuban Missile Crisis, George Bush, remember George Bush, same thing when George, the towers, they put them in the air.
Yeah,
So
no.
if they're bringing Andrew, they're going to put them in the air.
Someone, Caitlin Collins, I think she's a CNN person, President Biden is in the Oval Office. The pool says, the press pool says, but not expected to speak from there currently. He's not going to be. He's good, like you said. They've got him ready to go in there.
Yeah.
Now, did you see what time? Did they say anything about what time he's going to do a national address to the nation?
Here's what I got. Biden to address the nation tonight.
That's it.
That's all.
Then it doesn't say, obviously they're not going to say from where, but in close proximity. He's probably he's in Andrews, right?
That's what the news says, that they diverted him to Andrews.
Yeah, they got him on a base, ready. Yeah, they got him on the base.
So they got him on the base, they're going to put him in the air. And he can address the nation from the air.
Now, you got to wonder, if the United States is taking so many precautions, does that mean that we're going to get really, like, heavily directly involved and they're worried about a retaliatory strike from Iran against us?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
And Russia.
Oh,
Yeah.
boy. This is getting like really, really, really bad, really fast.
Yeah, too fast.
Really, this is going down the tubes quick.
Yeah.
Now, again, we don't know until whatever happens, if it happens. You know what I mean? But we know. I know, but nothing's happened.
Cruise missiles and more than 100 drones, you're at war.
I get that, but right now, technically, nothing's happened yet. Even though we know that, or speculating that 100 drones, dozens of drones, a few drones, cruise missiles, all this shit is going on. But really, there's really no true confirmation that something's going on until it happens, is what I'm saying. And when it happens, that's when we know this shit has now officially hit the fan. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
It's not about Minecraft. It's not just talking too much about Biden. He's the president of the United States. And his actions and moves can pretty much show you what's going on behind the scenes. What the president's movements are as far as security. Somebody said something that you guys are thinking too much about Biden. It has nothing to do about Biden the person. It has to do, he is the president, and the movements of the president can sometimes dictate and show you what's going on behind the scenes.
yeah.
That's why. Because they're going to protect him regardless who the president is. They're going to protect him.
Yeah, they got you.
And the Iron Dome is not perfect because even homemade missiles that were launched from Hamas, Iron Dome didn't shoot them all down. Some of them got through.
Here's
So,
what you watch for. Watch where the vice president goes and start seeing where the speaker goes.
yeah, because they're the three in chain. Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
But if they whisk away the vice president to like NORAD or some other place.
An undisclosed location, a secure location.
What's that?
An undisclosed secure location.
Did they announce that?
No. I'm saying, like you said, the three. It's the president, the vice president, and the leader of the House. Those are the three in the chain, the top chain.
Right.
So if they start making movements with them too, to spread them out and put them in secure locations, you know shit is getting really serious.
Yeah.
That's why it's important to keep an eye on that kind of stuff.
Yeah. But I will tell you right now, if they got him at Andrews, they're probably going to put him up in the air. That's best guess. And if they start addressing the nation with this attack, he's got forces that he put in place over there, and so he's going to get us involved. He's already threatening. He said, remember his famous words, don't, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Iranians called his bluff.
Yep.
You don't bluff in something like this. If he bluffs and he says, well, we're really not going to do anything,
Now here's the thing. Keith, a friend of mine in chat, says it's not perfect, but it's got a hell of a success rate. And the U.S. also was providing assistance to take them down. Not saying it's that dangerous, but they are prepared. But here's the thing: and this is another report unconfirmed, but it came out there, that Hezbollah is using suicide drones to attack Iron Dome locations in northern Israel. So they're trying to take out the Iron Dome before this shit comes in. So now Israel has no defense, no Iron Dome to protect them.
Correct.
So who knows? But I'm sure they're in the air right now trying to shoot these suckers down, obviously.
Yep.
Intercept and take them out. Which, as Jade indicated, they're probably not that hard to take these out. Cruise missiles might be a little bit more difficult, but still not impossible. I don't know what's going on in that room. But yeah, Chris, keep me posted.
Oh, yeah. All right. Take care.
All right, call me.
Bye.
Bye. What? 400 to 500? Now it's 400 to 500 drones and missiles launched from Iraq, Syria, and southern Lebanon, and the Houthis. But the bulk will be launched from Iran. So I said it earlier. Are the Houthis going to get involved? Is Hezbollah going to get involved? And is Syrian forces going to get involved? Well, it sure looks like every player is getting involved in on this. The main one being Iran. So they're going to have a barrage heading toward them. Now, again, whatever happens, happens. But what is the Israeli and U.S. reaction and countermeasure after this? So even though this is imminent to happen in an hour and a half, really, because I've been watching the clock. Okay, there you go. U.S. forces have begun intercepting Iranian drones in Iraq and Syria. But it's also about what happens after. A counterstrike. And that's why this is so dangerous. So, oh my God. It's really bad. This is serious. And I just hope Joe doesn't think about doing a show tonight, because I'm refusing to do any shows tonight, because I'm sorry. This has my full attention right now. We will respond strongly. There's already extra cooperation with a number of countries besides the U.S., including France, Great Britain, and neighboring countries that have sent messages that they intend to intercept aerial threats on their way to Israel. But we will respond strongly. Not intercept. We will respond strongly. And I don't want to hear what he has to say, because he's just reading a bunch of posts. He's going back and forth. And again, it's a copyright issue if I put his audio.
Tycho with you,
No.
so how come I can find Tycho?
I don't know, but did you open any doors for him to get out of this house?
No.
So then he has to be here.
Oh, he's in the bathroom?
Probably, because he hears something, and I think he's bugging out on it.
Yeah, he's in the bathroom.
There could be like something underneath the crawl space of the house, and he's picking up their scent.
James guy is there.
So pretty much, I'm not going to stay live, because I have to contact certain hosts and make sure we're square for the night. But obviously, there's plenty of places you guys can and gals can go continue to follow what's going on your own, obviously. And that's exactly what I intend to do, is keep an eye on it on my television, because I want to see the Israeli station, what they say, if they're not in the blackout, because it looks like they went black, which makes sense. And just to continue to see how this is going to develop, but I'm sure it's going to be a long night here. It's going to be a long morning in Israel. So who knows? Only time will tell, I guess, the next few hours. Okay, we know that they closed the airspace. That's pretty much old news already. So he's just going over the feeds as people are telling him, keeping him updated on all the latest of what's going on. But they're getting a lot of their information from X or Facebook, social media accounts. The FAA. I didn't catch that one, what the FAA just put up. So, like I said, it's going to be... Do you want the link? I'll get you the link, Minecraft. He'll be on. Steve will be on for the next 8 hours. When he goes live, he's staying live for hours now. This guy will be on for the next 6, 7, 8 hours. I'm not even kidding. Agenda free. Wow. Yeah, but what U.S. A senior U.S. official told ABC they think they will be anywhere from 4 or 5. Who? What senior U.S. official? I mean, come on. I hate when they do that. Copy. All right, I'm going to put the link in YouTube. I don't see any comments other than I'll put it in Rumble too, but I'll put it in YouTube for you guys. And there it is. I'll put it in Rumble too. Like I said, I can get in trouble, not on the other streams, but on YouTube, sharing the audio is an issue because it's a copyright issue. But talking over, it's public domain as far as like you could speak over and commentary there's rules and regulations when you're doing stuff like this. Okay, the other host says, okay, that host got back to me. We are not going live tonight. Additional wave. They're preparing for additional waves of attacks. You got to remember, this is the first time Iran's doing it. They're not making this one first time weak response. It looks like they're going pretty heavy on this one. And you know the chants in the streets in Iran, for as long as I could remember, especially after the U.S.-Iran embassy incident, death to Israel and death to the United States. For how many years? 50 years? Well, this is their first time they're actually doing a launch from their territory. So all that rhetoric, all that talk, all that bluster, well, like I said, the first time ever, an attack directly from the country of Iran on Israel. So this is a historical day in a bad way. And before I go, thoughts and prayers to everyone out there, and pray for peace. But right now things are looking really bad. And again, even after what happens in the next few hours, what happens in the next few days and weeks and months? This is not going to end tonight, because now the stakes have really been raised, and like I said, in a bad way. So anyway, everybody, I'm out. I bet, I wouldn't doubt it, Jade. I would not doubt that. I would not doubt that. A lot of people are having sightings like, what was that? I don't mean to make light and joke about it, but I wouldn't doubt there's a lot of UFO people thinking, there's all kinds of crazy activity going on out there right now too. But everybody have a great night. Be well, be blessed, be safe. Pray for peace. I'm out of here. I'm going to now tune in myself and channel surf and see what I can find. Let's just see what Al Jazeera is doing in the background. Can't imagine. They're not talking about it. But I bet you if we put Al Jazeera, the Arabic version, they are. Guaranteed. Okay, that's English. Let's just see. See, I tried to put I-24, the Israeli channel. It didn't work. So, Al Jazeera Arabic Live. Let's just see what they're flashing on the screen. Can only imagine. So, of course, they're talking about it in real time. So it's all over the place. Wherever you pretty much look right now, it's all over the place. And this is the English version. I want to see the... It's all over the place. See, I want to see the Arabic version. Arabic. Let's go live. Oh, yeah. It's a different... It has a different look to it, right? Look what they're highlighting. Places in Israel. Because everybody's watching to see when the drones, if the drones reach their target destination. You know how many people out there are waiting and looking at this with entertainment value that they want to see Israel hit? You know there are. Like I said, everything goes both ways. Well, they're keeping a close eye on the skyline and waiting to see Iron Dome going up in the air and anything that happens on that screen. You know it. But they all are. All the media is right now. They're all waiting to see if anything is seen, if anything happens. Now, an earlier report said by 2 a.m. Israeli time, I don't know if this is true, that a wave should be entering Israeli airspace. 2 a.m. local, which is at about 90 minutes from now. So, within the next couple of hours, and I'm getting messages from so many people. Kevin, you're always thinking of food, bro. Always. Always thinking of food, Kevin. You have to. I'm gonna end the stream with you talking about food. You know something too, though? I need to eat because I ate a little lunch. Genghis was here. I was playing a game. I had a little plate of chicken with broccoli, but I gotta eat too. So anyway, God bless everyone. Be safe, be blessed, and pray for peace. We need it. Regardless, we need it. However you look at it, we need peace. War is not the answer. Anyway, love to everybody. I may be back tonight late if anything insane. Like, I may be back. Oh, be quiet, Amol. Actually, Amol, I'm doing really good. So good that I'm scared about all the weight I'm losing. I'm actually starting to get concerns about my weight loss because it's happening a little bit too much. It's starting to worry me. And before I leave, Amol, this is just for fucking you. I mean, the gut is gone. Now it's up here. The gut is gone. But I'm losing too much weight. It's starting to get scary. Because it's disappearing at too fast of a rate. And I don't know if it's that medication I'm taking now. It's not Ozempic. It's the other one. It starts with an R. I can't think of the name of it. But anyway, love to everybody. I'm out of here. I'm not showing my gut. Have a good night, and we'll be back later on. Amol. All right, peace out. I'm going to eat, and keep an eye on the news.